Why don't you ever say sorry?
Because it's the worst feeling. It means that you were right and I was wrong. And I don't like
but
that.
I feel that's the basis of our relationship.
I got that dish.
You were right and I wrong. Yeah, probably.
Dish. Dish. I got that dish. I got that. I got that dish. That dish.
Hey y'all, it's Onika
And J.R.
and you are dishing with Dainty Dish. How you doing, JR?
I'm doing better than your perm.
Oh. All right, get it out of your system. I know you got a couple hits in there for
Curly
me.
Sue.
Like, I
How
know.
you doing?
Okay, get it out of your system.
You're like a vintage 1920s burlesque girl. Okay.
A burlesque, a woman of the night.
Ooh, a woman of the night. Wait.
I look like a 1920s woman of the night.
There's more.
All right, go ahead, keep going.
You look like my grade 5 principal, Miss Ball.
Oh my god.
Hold on. There's more. Wait. You look like my mother with a wig on.
I look like my mother with a wig on at this point, I think.
Yeah, but I've never seen your mother with a wig on, so I can't really say
my mother
that.
wore wigs for years.
Did she?
Until she went natural.
That wasn't her real. That wasn't her real hair.
Real hair.
Well, okay, so
she wore wigs for years.
Okay, shout outs to whoever made your mom's wigs because they fooled me for 15 years.
Yeah, she wore wigs for years.
Fantastic.
So, all right.
But anyway, how am I doing? Yeah. I'm doing fantastic.
You're doing fantastic.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to. Well, I mean, we're recording this just before I'm getting ready to jump up for Caravana.
Oh, we're both gonna be jumping up.
Yeah, but separately.
Oh, whatever.
But
you know you'll be in my sphere.
No, not a chance. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. You know, updating my kickball and my dodgeball life. We're still losing, and we're still happy.
So you're happy losers.
Yeah. We're all about like the
That's
team,
good.
the teamwork,
team spirit,
and all that good
rah,
stuff.
Rah,
So,
shish, boom, ba, and all that jive.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
Good stuff. Yeah, and with the rest of my life, what am I doing? I don't know. I'm not really doing anything special. I'm working. That's about it. So I'm hoping to take the weekend off and get out and jump up for Caravana.
Jump up, wind up.
Wind up a bit. And then, you know, get back to...
watch the lady shake a tail feather.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Caravana is the weekend where you can dance with somebody's wife or girlfriend and they can't say nothing.
No. Not if they're in mass.
Not if they're in mass.
That's our version of church.
And with that, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I got a weave.
Yes, you did.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I got a weave.
And you're owning it because you own it.
I'm going to own it. We're going to take a picture after, post it on Instagram. So if you're not on my Instagram, join Best of Onika.
You can see what kind of hair is it? Did you figure out?
It is virgin hair.
Virgin?
Virgin.
When was the last time you were a virgin?
It's been years. Oh my gosh, it's been years, and I feel like a virgin again. I feel like a virgin in
What's
this
your name,
hair.
Madonna?
Like, oh, it's been years. I've gotten some opposing opinions about the hair.
Really?
Mom says it makes me look older than I am.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%.
So I no longer look like I'm in my 20s. I assume I now look like I'm in my 30s. I certainly do not look like I'm in my 40s. Let's just put it that way.
You look like you're getting ready to go to the office. That's just exactly what you look
I
like.
look like, well, I'm trying to funk it up. I have to get like a curling iron and like do all that. I'm going to do that today.
So you treat it like it's your real hair. Is that what you do?
Yeah, you wash it and wear it and curl it and style it. And
wow.
Yeah, it's like a chia pet on your head.
I have no sisters. My mom never wore weave. And
yeah.
I married an Asian woman. So it's like, this is
I'm
all
probably
new to me.
wearing her people's hair for all you know.
What?
Like,
That's crazy.
It could be virgin. It could be virgin Asian hair.
It could be.
It could be. It could be.
Let me touch it to see if it feels familiar.
Run your hands through it. See if it brings back any memories.
I remember the episode where you talked about don't touch your hair.
Don't touch.
Even though you bought it, so it's yours.
So it's mine. I can finally say that with confidence. I bought it. It's
and you're
mine.
not apologizing for it, are you?
I'm not apologizing for it. I'm not sorry.
Oh my gosh, you're not sorry at all.
Sorry. What I am sorry about is how long it took us to pick up our costumes.
Oh, is that
yesterday for Caravana?
Oh, really?
I actually called Caravana the West Indian Halloween. Like
you're on your own with that one.
It is. It's like the West Indian Halloween. I love it. I'm really excited about it, and I'm not sorry that I am taking part in this.
I don't understand why you would have to be sorry.
I'm a little bit sorry about the size of the underwear that I chose.
Why is it XXL?
No, it was a medium. And I meant a regular person's medium, not a stripper's medium. So I needed more of a stripper's large. But
I don't even know what that means.
I needed more of
no idea what that means.
Stripper underwear, in my opinion, is smaller than regular people's underwear.
Because it uses less material?
You use less material with stripper underwear.
Okay, so what about thongs?
So exactly, that thong is a stripper underwear. So what I ended up getting was somewhat of a bikini, but in a medium when clearly I'm a large. Like, guys, I own it. It is what it is. You know, I'm not apologizing for it.
Okay, I don't understand the problem.
But yeah, it's a medium when it should be large. But there's a belt that goes over it, so it kind of covers everything.
Oh,
up.
You're concerned that your cheeks are going to hang out.
My cheeks. Oh. Possibly my lady garden. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen.
And you're saying it's a garden now.
It's not Friday yet. It's not Friday yet. I have a schedule. I have a schedule to keep.
Oh my gosh.
The day before the event.
All the agriculture didn't die because it's not winter, huh?
It's the day before the event is when the shorning happens. So
gotta get a weed whacker out there.
Yeah. That's when things start cooking.
So do you use a chef knife, a weed whacker, or
I use a good
clippers?
I use a good old fashioned cream.
A cream?
A hair removal cream.
I don't even know what that means.
It's called Nair. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you just put a cream on it.
Yeah, and then it's just like shoop.
Really? You can just do that?
Yeah, you can. You can put it on your legs. You can put it on your arms. I had a girlfriend that used to put it on her arms. Yeah, and it just like makes the hair go bye-bye. Everything. You can't leave it on for too long because it'll burn your vagina. But yeah,
that's not the kind of burn. You don't want any burning in your vagina, do you?
No, not at all. I don't want any action down there whatsoever.
Any type of burning nair. I don't want
any kind of action
STIs
down there whatsoever. I'm staying that way.
You don't want any of that.
Yeah, I'm keeping it cool, keeping it clean.
Okay,
keeping it fresh.
And you're not apologizing about it.
And I'm not apologizing for it at all.
So what do you want to talk about today? Because you just kind of showed up at my place and you're just kind of like, you're not even like, you show up here unannounced and you're like, I want to do a podcast. And I'm like, okay, fine. But
I wanted to talk about apologies.
Oh, you owe me one for showing up unannounced.
No, I think I told you I was coming, or at least I told you in my mind. Sure. And that's good enough for me. So right, you don't get an apology.
All right.
But I want to talk about what people do right when apologizing and what people do wrong. And how you feel about apologies.
I'm Canadian, so I say sorry all the time. It's almost like it almost means nothing. Like sorry means nothing. I say it all the time. It's like I'll bump into some sorry. Someone will step on my shoe. Sorry. Like it means nothing. The word doesn't mean anything.
Isn't it crazy how Canadians are like that? I'm like that too.
Well, I'm Canadian. I don't know what you are.
No, I'm Guyanese born but Canadian bred. So okay. I've been up here since I was like 5.
Okay. Well,
so 30 years.
Well, they can't deport me.
Well, yeah, they can still deport me. I guess if Justin with the good hair really wanted to, he could do it. But I have my citizenship. I'm good. I'm good. Unless they null and void those, I'm fine.
Anyway, I don't know. Do you really want to know how I really feel about apologies?
I
Or
do.
saying sorry? I mean, like, you can say them. Great. Fantastic. But the person doesn't have to forgive you. Like, I mean, like my opinion is, God forgives, I don't. So.
Wow, that's rough.
Like, well, we all make our own decisions. We have free will. Like, if you are a religious person, you probably believe in free will. So you had the right to. You made a choice when you made your decision that you require an apology, forgiveness for right now, right? So you made a choice. You knew what you were doing, and you said, "Forget the consequences. I'm gonna do what I want to do." So that's cool, no problem. If you feel remorseful and you feel sorry, that's fantastic. That's great. If saying sorry helps you move on, that's fantastic. For me, it's like, okay, great. You wronged me. You crossed me. Okay, cool. Moving forward, you're not on my team anymore. So I don't have to worry about you. I don't have to forgive you for my life to move on. Like, it's not a big deal.
But I mean, some things are huge, and I don't know, an apology doesn't often seem to be enough. Well,
those are the things I guess I'm talking about, where it's like
not like things like, I crashed your car by accident.
Sorry.
Like, those are forgivable versus the bigger things. Do you think?
You crashed my car. I'm sorry.
That's a pretty big thing.
The problem is, you're asking me a question, and like, theoretically, I'm like, yeah, great, but like, it's actually happened to me, and I'm like, how did I feel? I'm thinking about how did I feel, because you didn't even realize that when you asked the question, right? Yeah, you forgot, right? So you totally forgot, and I'm like, okay, how do I feel today about that situation?
Oh wow, this is a brain buster.
Yeah, it's like, one of
those brain busters.
How do I feel today about that situation? How did I feel, 5 years ago?
When it was happening,
or what? And like, 5 years ago is kind of like, okay, fine, it happened, no big deal. It whatever happened, supposed to happen, fix it, move on, and figure okay, plan A is done, let's go with plan B. Like, that was my mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I think about it today, I'm like, damn. Like, that was like, that really messed me up. Like, that was, I'm like,
it was messed up,
so I was like, okay, well, is it forgivable? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I mean, my life today doesn't revolve around a vehicle, which is fantastic. So I mean, I think that was, at the time, it was kind of shitty, but I think now it's okay. I'm okay with it. I think, yeah, you can forgive. Yeah.
You can forgive.
You can forgive a car. Absolutely.
You can forgive a car,
Absolutely,
but a human
100%.
wrong, you're like, no.
Yeah, like, or like a wrong to my like an adult wronging my child kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of like, nah, you should know better. Like, that's, I don't know what kind of situation that would be, but like, you should know better.
What about the timing of apologies? Like, I've been in an experience where I've screwed the pooch big. It was with my sister. Remember this? Well, I screwed the pooch.
Yeah, and I stand firm, and I stand firm that you were in the wrong. And
I was in the wrong, and I kept apologizing.
And the fact that she's talking today,
leave her alone.
The fact that she's talking today, I'm surprised, because I probably would have never talked to you again. Like
I would not leave her alone.
We would have gone a decade. We would have gone a decade.
We probably would have gone a solid decade if it was you and me, for sure. Oh yeah,
for sure. She's sure. She's nice.
Like,
she's real nice.
It was just, but it was too soon. It was too soon.
And like, it comes back to like what I said. You can apologize. That doesn't mean someone else has to forgive you. So I mean, yeah, great. If you apologize when you realize you did something wrong, fantastic. But that doesn't mean that the other person has to sit back and say, okay, I accept it, and I'm going to, everything's okay. It's not like kindergarten. Like I have a frustration with people like that think that because they said sorry, the other person is supposed to forgive them and move on automatically, and it's like, that's some kindergarten nonsense, or like, some grade 1, grade 2 stuff where like you take someone's truck, and just say sorry, and you're like, sorry, say he's forgiven, you're forgiven, like kind of that kind of thing, like where they force it out of you, but that's not reality. I mean, sometimes when you wrong someone, like you don't understand how deep that's gone, and sometimes it's best for you to just, you made a mistake. Sometimes you just got to walk away, like, because you may never regain that person's, I guess, counsel. Is that a good word for it? That person's counsel. Yeah, that's a good word.
Okay.
Yeah, you may not. And you have to accept that because you made the mistake.
Yeah, and it was at the time a pretty big one, and fortunately we found a way to mend our fences, and now she does meal prep for me every other week.
I know, that's so cute.
So it's super cute.
But you originally asked what people do right and what people do wrong with apologies. So I don't know, where do you want to begin with that? What people do right? Or what they do wrong?
What they do wrong, I think. Like making excuses.
Apologizing with a but. So making excuses.
Yeah. I apologize, but it reminds me of
It reminds me of you, because every single apology you've ever made always comes with a but.
That is so not true.
Okay.
That is not true.
When was the last time you apologized and didn't have a but?
Like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago.
I wish I was a lawyer and we were in a court of law right now.
Maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. I don't know.
And you were a juror, and you were not a juror. You were a witness, and I had a fancy suit on, and I could just come up and be like, "Really?"
It's been like 6 years.
6?
Yeah.
And I'd ask questions like, "Are you
6 years
certain?"
and 5 weeks.
6 years and 5 weeks.
I started with the 5 weeks, and then I added the 6 years. So it's been 6 years and 5 weeks since I've apologized with a but with it.
Without a but?
With a but.
No. I asked a question without a but.
Without a but.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah. So what people do, that's what people do wrong. Like, and then it's not sincere, because you're not taking responsibility for your actions. You're essentially blaming somebody else for the things that you consciously did.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of people aren't willing to aren't self-aware enough, or aren't willing to take the responsibility to just say, I messed up. It's okay. We're all pieces of shit.
We're all we are all pieces of shit.
Like I mean, at the end of the day, like, every single one of us is a human being. We are all pieces of garbage. We are.
Fair enough.
Like, we are.
Fair.
We just, it's just how garbage are we to the people that we truly love and care about the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, you always disappoint the people that you care about and that you love. But you just got to hope that the good outweighs the bad. And there's more, thanks and happiness and all that good stuff, as opposed to apologies.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if most apologies are just wasted on people because of the insincerity of them.
I don't know.
If you're being insincere in your apology, then what does it matter? What does it really mean?
Absolutely. That's why a lot of the times, actions speak louder than words.
That's true.
But that all depends on what the type of, the situation is where an apology is required, right? Or is thought to be required.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe? Is that the right way to say it?
Maybe.
But I don't know. What else do people do wrong with, what's else is wrong with apologies?
Doing it over social media.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big
via
thing.
text. I've done that. I've done that.
Sorry,
I've done a long
said,
apology via text. There's probably a couple of butts in there.
Absolutely. I probably can go back in my history and find a couple of them.
Whatever.
Yeah. Apologies via text. That's hilarious.
It's just so impersonal. I mean, an apology should be a face-to-face, sincere interaction. And when you do it over social media, it's there for the world to see.
Yeah, it's as if you're just trying to stack your brownie points.
Yeah.
You're stacking your public opinion points, so when you have a disaster, you know, they're like, oh no, he said sorry that time, he didn't really mean it. So, you know, you're just, I don't know.
He apologized and he got 50 likes for it, so.
What? Gotta love those likes for the apology. But like, okay, so if we're talking about apologies, what kind of apology, you've given some apologies for what's happened during, you know, times when you've been under your mental,
yeah.
I guess you've been in like psychosis or a mania or so one of those conditions. So how do you feel about the apologies that you've had to give after those situations?
Oh, I mean, it's all bullshit. Like, honestly, it's all like when it's happening, it's rambling nonsense that doesn't make sense. You've heard it, you've seen it, the text messages that I'll send in cap
for me,
lock.
I just like to hear you know, vocalize
caps
this.
Lock, you know, just sheet after sheet of nonsense that is it's insane. It's crazy. And then the apologies afterwards, those are kind of phony too, because you don't remember. Like, the only time I remember what I like write to you is if I like have a pop-up on my MacBook and it's like messages from 3 years ago and I read them and I'm like, what the fuck did I send to him? Like, what did I, because it's not in my regular text no more.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's what I sent to you. I don't remember. So even when I'm apologizing to you about the things that I did when I wasn't well, I don't know what I did when I wasn't well. So that apology is insincere in itself. Like,
yeah, that's why I don't even like listen to you when you're saying
what?
sorry. Yeah,
blanket apology for all of those ones. Like, you don't have to forgive it, but blanket apology, like, it's just that whole, when I get into that period of my life, I'm not sorry for anything I do or I say. Like, I just go full force with it.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
You've been
several times.
You've seen the wreckage.
Yeah. You came through like a wrecking ball.
You came through like a wrecking ball. You've seen the wreckage.
Oh my gosh. And you know what's the big thing? The thing about that is, I found that it was, I don't know, is it codependent behavior?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a term?
Yeah, no, codependent behavior is a term. It was the codependent behavior between me and you and a lot of the family members that I had around me that were feeding into like just the process of going through psychosis.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's why I got to the point where I'm like, oh, I can see the signs. See you later.
Yeah, you had to get out. But
I'll see you in 8 months. Like that was pretty much my thing. Like, I'll see you in 8 months. How you doing? Like, oh, you're back. Cool.
But it was just it was an unhealthy time, because the codependent relationship I had with my family, my core family, you know, I was fighting with Papa Dainty. Mom was my lifeline. You know, I depended on her for everything financially. Like, I'd lost my job at the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's the quit fire story. If you guys want to hear it, just go back a couple episodes. But yeah, I was completely dependent on this woman who had done her job. You know, she'd done what she was supposed to do with me. And I was like 33 at the time, I think, that this happened. Yeah, I'm 33. And then there was the codependent relationship I had with my sister as well.
And that one, even me, like, that one was huge. Like, you two were...
Oh, we had a sick relationship.
Yeah, it was...
it was so twisted. It was so twisted.
It was an interesting one to see, yeah. Definitely.
It was so twisted. Like, she kept my secrets. I kept her secrets until I didn't. And then, you know, she would always need something from me, and I was always rescuing her from situations. Like, that's what it seemed to be like, because I was at the time pretty financially stable. I was working, I was employed, it was a decent job, you know, so it was always like, here's 100 here or there. Here's 200 here or there. Like, I want to make sure, you know, everything's taken care of and you're okay. And, you know, so I was putting her needs above my own needs, and I couldn't say no. For some reason, I just couldn't say no. And that was big. That's a big thing with codependent relationships. The inability to say no to the person that you're involved in that relationship with.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really had a codependent relationship.
Are you kidding me?
Really?
Weren't you married?
That made me codependent. I need to hear this.
Okay, so from what I understand, for various reasons, you put her needs before your own needs.
Yeah.
You had a problem with saying no to her. Either you chose to not say no, or you had a problem for whatever reason with saying no to her.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You resented her.
Yeah.
That's only 3 of the ones that I could think of right now for codependency. Let me see. There's another one. So you always put their needs above your own. You have a difficulty of saying no and setting limits. You find yourself always bailing them out of sticky situations.
Oh shoot! You're describing. Yeah, okay. You're hitting me. You're hitting a home run right now.
You're the main source of their emotional support.
What? You're killing it right now.
You feel like you can never make a mistake in the relationship.
Wow, you're just like.
And you feel resentment towards the person.
Okay, I hit every single one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and as soon as I started saying no and all that good stuff, it was like. It was all hell broke loose.
I used to I did work on codependency. I did work on the codependency between my mom and myself, and my sister and myself. When I was living in Ajax, I had a sponsor. I used to go to Al-Anon meetings. If you guys don't know what that is, that's for people who have family members with addiction or with drug addiction or alcoholism. So I used to go to Al-Anon, and I got a sponsor. And so we read this book called Codependent No More, and we go through it. And she would tell me things like, have you ever heard me say, if it's not in your hula hoop, if it's not in your roundhouse, you don't have to worry about it. It's not about you. It's about somebody else. It's about what they're going through. And you shouldn't involve yourself.
Okay. Maybe not. I don't really pay attention to you because you talk gibberish. I'm just joking.
That's lovely.
I'm just joking.
That's lovely.
No, I've never heard you say it though.
Yeah, but it was one of the things she taught me. I had to learn that if it's not in my hula hoop, then it's not something I should be taking care of. It's not something that I should be focused on.
Yeah.
And the situation, with the home life of my family, I didn't live with them, but I was taking it on. I was taking it on and worrying about it and concerning myself with it. And it caused a lot of challenges in the relationships, because now I'm giving opinions and I'm telling people how I feel and what to do about their lives. And it's not my place.
Yeah. Shut up and live your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, with codependency, I don't know, mentally, it wears on you, and it could be draining. It causes things like I was going through a period of depression when I was doing this work with I can't use her name, but my sponsor. And I remember not wanting to do the work because I didn't want to face the problems in my relationship. So I didn't realize that one thing was related to the next, that if I worked on the codependent relationships, the depression would lift. And that's what I started seeing happening.
Oh yeah, I can second that. Yeah.
Yeah, I started seeing that happening. The more I went to my meetings, and I did the work, I could see the depression lifting because things that used to bother me didn't bother me anymore. Like, Papa Dainty could pick on a nerve when it came to me. But because I was doing this work, I realized, this is a small thing.
Wow. You know what's interesting? You want to know when I knew my marriage was over?
Talk about it.
I used to actually work in a corporate job, and there was a couple people in my department that used to get other people, like they used to get on other people's nerves, like they used to push the buttons and they used to just get on people's nerves. And I always used to sit back and I used to find it absolutely entertaining and hilarious. And eventually got to a point where one of those people started to annoy me. And I was like, wait a minute, why is this person annoying me? They shouldn't be annoying me. Like, this person's absolutely hilarious to me. Like, I want to write jokes about this person. Like, this person is super funny. Cool person. Like, I would hang out with this person outside of work, just inside the job, maybe not. And I started looking at my life and I was like, wait a minute, I'm so angry at home in my personal life that it's affecting my work life. And my work life used to be the thing that, I would, when my dad was sick, it was the thing that used to keep my mind kind of just like away from all that stuff. And all of a sudden now I don't even want to be there. And I was like, wait, my personal life is it's too messed up. It's way too messed up. And I mean, I remember going into my boss and being like, okay, my life's a little bit messed up, but I'm focused on the job. I'm going to make it work. I'm here, I'm focused, I'm going to do this, and then the next day I went in and I was like, nope, I'm out. Peace.
I can't do it.
Like,
I can't do it all.
And she was like, okay, like you were in here yesterday just saying you're going to stay and now you're flip-flopping. Like, she's like, take the weekend off, kind of like just think it through, like see if you're going to make the right decision. And then that's the infamous email with us. And that happened. But I don't know, like that's kind of how I knew that there was a problem in my relationship and it was affecting the rest of my life. And
it's affecting your mental health.
It's affecting my mental health. And, I found out I was depressed and codependent relationships, as you've pointed out. And my therapist has pointed out as well. So it's not the first time.
It's not the first time. I'm not therapizing you.
It's not the first time I've heard it.
For the first time.
Yeah, and I've accepted it. It's kind of fine. Once I accepted it, it was like, oh, okay.
It's like cool. You feel relief.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is why. Okay, great, cool.
And understanding, like you said. So this is why this hasn't ever worked out for us as a couple or
because it's kind of like whenever you realize it, you're like, okay, every time every time I've kind of been like, okay, let's kind of like support JR now and let's do this. It's kind of been like wobbly, and then the relationship kind of like there's problems. But if it's all about the other person, fantastic, everything's great, And that was kind of like how the wedding and that ramped up, right? Because obviously the wedding's all about the bride.
Oh yeah.
Right. So center of attention, everything's about
Nobody
that.
Cares about
great.
You.
Nobody cares about the groom, and which was fine. I didn't care anyway, right? But as soon as the wedding was done, poof, it's like, okay, the wedding's done. When are you having kids?
Oh Lord.
Right. So now the attention now has shifted. You had your moment.
Now we want babies.
We want babies, right?
We want babies.
And in my relationship, it was like right after the wedding, I was playing with a kid, and I've told the story. It's like, oh, I don't like the way you play with kids. You're too nice with kids. You're too good with kids. You're gonna be way better. You're gonna be an excellent father. Oh, that's gonna be no more attention for me. Oh, I don't want that. And then what we had discussed was like, let's have kids after the wedding. That's the only reason I got married. I wanted children. And then, all of a sudden kids get postponed a year and then another year, and so you start feeling the resentment as you pointed out. Right?
Yeah.
And Yeah, that relationship, codependency, man, it's crazy. And then but then on the other hand, I was Mr. Financial Support, because anything my wife wants, my wife gets.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was the way I was rolling, because that's just the way I was. My mind was like, you
You
know,
were a sucker. You were a sucker.
I was. I won't be again.
Just saying.
Yeah, that was my mentality. It's like anything my wife wants, my wife's gonna get. Like you're my family. I chose you. You know, like that was my mentality. Like you want that purse, no problem. Mm-hmm. You want that dress, no problem. You know, oh, I'm not making enough money, I'm gonna make more money. You know, that was the goal. Like it's just like, oh, there's not enough, let's make more. Because it kind of worked with my ambition, right? Like, because it gave me something to kind of like work towards always. Like, oh, there's nothing more that needs to be had, let's go get that.
Have you ever had a codependent friendship, like the best friend construct, the BFF?
No, I'm an only child, no BFFs. I'm not. I've always, like, the actual BFF like title shit. Like I've just thrown it around, but like I'm a loner. Like I like being by myself.
You're a one man wolf pack.
Yeah, like I mean, I have friends and like we interact, we have good times and everything. But like I don't like that whole like deeper sharing your feelings and all that kind of. No, I'm not. Like I don't really have that type of person that's like knows my deep dark secrets and all that kind of garbage. Which was kind of the reason why like the marriage breakup was pretty tough for me, because some of my secrets were told to that person,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, BFF thing, nah. I'm like,
I've got like facets of best friends from different like eras of my childhood through my adulthood. So like the university best friends, like they know some of like my deepest, darkest secrets, because like they saw me go through my mental health struggle. They visited, they sent books, they like called every day, and like, so they were really like involved in that portion of my life. Same thing with like some of my high school best friends. Like, so I feel like with certain friendships, I have been codependent. Like I rely on them for so much, especially when it comes to things like emotional support. Like, when you're depressed, honestly, there's like I don't know if it's just me, but I know when I'm depressed, I basically rerun what my life could have, should have, and would have been like had I not done A, B, C, D thing.
Oh, oof, no way. No way. I'm not going down that road.
That's what my mind goes to.
Oh no.
When I'm not well. Like when I'm getting there, that's what when I'm super depressed, that's what I'll run through my head.
I did that once when I was
let a friend call me. Let a friend call me during this period of time, and I pick up the phone. Mm-hmm. They're on the phone with me for like 3 hours, like talking about this.
Oh no, I'll hang up on you.
Like,
I do it all the time.
Like,
the second I'm like, this has been too long. I'm getting off the phone with you right now. No.
It is insane. They're calling for maybe 15 minutes tops. They got kids. Like they got responsibilities. Yeah. But I'm keeping them on the phone for like 3 hours.
No,
talking
I don't have
about
any. No.
Like it's kind of selfish, and I love all my friends for tolerating me. I know it's been so many years that you've had to do it, but I appreciate you. But yeah, I've had some pretty codependent friendships. And
nope, me it's just college university friends I got. We go out for beers, hang out, help each other move, all that good stuff.
Help each other move. I love it. It's just help each other move.
Yeah, I got that good stuff. And then, I've got like the work friends that we hang out, we have some beers, and we just kind of discuss whatever's going on there, or some of them we've actually become pretty good friends. And then high school, that's kind of icky, because my ex-wife, we kind of met in high school, so I kind of like walked away from
most of those people.
I just walked away from every single person that's in one of my wedding photos. I walked away from, except for our cousin.
But did you have any, like, prior to this whole, like, blow up of your life called your divorce and your marriage, did you have any codependent, like, that you can recall codependent friendships? Like, when you were going through stuff, was there a go-to person that you went to, like, when you were going through? Because you didn't talk, like, you barely at the time were talking to me. Who were you talking to? Like,
I've always dealt with, like, there's, except for, when I had problems with the relationship with my father, I did I guess you can relate things go. Like, you can go take a listen to the Epic Fails and Friend Zone episode. Listen to that one, kind of, you can figure it out. But with that where that relationship went, so I had to walk away from that one as well, which I'm still kind of I feel pretty shitty about.
Yeah, I would if I were you too.
But yeah, whatever, no big deal. You move on, no big deal. But yeah, no codependent relationships. Like, I typically deal with myself. Like, I'm always like,
I think that's not only child syndrome.
Like, I'm just like, because I always just look at it like, what do I need to go complain to somebody else for? Like, I'm in this situation because I'm here. Like, resolve it. Like, and I also think about my things I'm going to do before I do them. And I don't put my dad was always like, don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to have to, regret your decision or have to say sorry. So I've always lived my life that way. So I've never really needed to really, really say sorry, except for maybe like 1 or 2 times in my life, 3 times in my life. Like, so I don't really have those codependent relationships where I need to, like, always stress about something and talk it through, and oh my gosh, what am I gonna do, blah 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 blah. Like, nah, that's a waste of my time.
I feel like I've only ever been in one codependent relationship, like genuinely codependent relationship, where I just struggled to try to make the person love me, and they didn't. My first relationship basically ended up being my last relationship. Wow. My last real relationship. Because I just, like, I've also had it where I've been in a situation where they're really super globbed onto me, and I'm not that into them.
Do you know, I had that moment near the end of my relationship where I was just like, I was so, like, depressed, and I was just reaching for something, a life. I just remember, and it was like one of those moments where I was reaching, and I remember my ex-wife was on her phone. She was probably talking to the other dude, and she went into the bedroom to finish whatever messaging conversation she was having with him. And I was just so in need of just, like, something at that moment that I remember, like, following her into the bedroom and just trying to get a hug. And she just looked at me and she's like, why are you following me around like a lost puppy? And I don't know, like, I look back at that to this day, like, that for me was just like, whoa, that's okay,
codependent.
That, like, was like,
that's beyond anything I've ever heard in my life.
That was like codependent, like, and I just, to me to this day, that moment still stands out. Like,
you should read that book just in case this happens again. Codependent no more.
No, I'm not. Come on, that's not gonna happen. Like, let's be real here. Like, no, like, it happened. It's not happening again. Okay, right. Like, you live and you learn. That's what happens in your life, and you can't be ashamed of it. You just got to accept it and keep it moving,
keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you guys maybe haven't apologized for something in a really long time, and you have an apology to make to someone, you want to do it through us.
How about you look me in my eyes while you say that?
Yeah, no, that would be pretty cool. Or if you want to talk about codependent relationships with us, that would also be awesome. JR, tell them how they could reach us.
Yeah, definitely. You can reach us at dysh, dysh, at daintydysh.com. That's daintydysh.com. You can also check out some more about Onika at onikadainty.com, and you can see the world through our lens on Instagram at bestofOnika and bestofJR. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts,
Give us a 5. You deserve a 5.
and thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe. If you're listening to us on YouTube, you're listening to us on SoundCloud, on Google Music, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you want to leave some feedback, we would greatly appreciate it. But we thank you so much for listening. I thank you so much for listening. And that is it for me.
Well, that has been the dish of the day. And I hope you guys have yourselves a very, very, very happy hump day.